Well, she's known as the Sister CEO, and her entrepreneurial expertise has helped so many businesses to find success. Please welcome to the Small Business Summit, Cheryl Broussard. All right, Cheryl, come on in.
Hi.
Wonderful to see you.
Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Have a seat here. Lots to talk about today. Where are you in from?
From San Francisco.
Oh, beautiful San Francisco.
Yes.
Is it raining down there?
No, it's gorgeous. 70-degree weather.
Ooh.
Oh, it's fabulous.
Well, welcome to Redmond today.
Yes.
And to the Microsoft headquarters.
Yes, it's so good to be here, too.
All right, so what are the keys to managing a business through successful cash flow? We've been talking about cash flow today.
Yes.
Cash flow is money in, money out.
Yes. It is so key right now for entrepreneurs to make sure they have enough cash flow coming in for their business. Because without the cash flow, there is no business. And especially right now, during these tough economic times, entrepreneurs really, really need to make sure that they have 9 to 12 months of a cushion money set aside just for their business.
So it sounds like your personal life. They always say to have a cushion aside for disasters. The same thing applies for businesses?
Yes, absolutely. Usually for your personal money, it's like 3 to 6 months. But for entrepreneurs, it's 9 to 12 months.
All right, let's talk about raising capital. That's been a tough thing for every small business, to go out and ask for money and find money, especially right now, I suppose, when times are tough and we're heading perhaps for a recession. So what are your 3 keys to raising capital for small business?
Well, first of all, let me just say this. There really, even though there's a recession, there is money out there. So
Oh,
I want
news.
entrepreneurs to know that there is definitely money, maybe not through the traditional financial ways like the banks and financial institutions, but there are other ways. And so the first thing you need to have is a really good business plan and a good presentation. And once you have that, then, you can find money. Number 2, you really need to have people who can help you with a business. So that's really crucial right now. How do you find these people? Networking. And that's one thing one angel investor told me is that, Cheryl, you always have to be looking for money and you never ever stop. And I think that's what entrepreneurs don't do. They stop looking for money. You have to continually look for money.
Our roundtable discussion talked about one of the first places to find money is just your friends and family. I always thought, I could never ask my friends and family for money, but that's a good place to start?
Well, it is and it isn't. I mean, of course, if you talk to your family and friends, you want to make sure that you do it right. You have paperwork. I mean, really, you should set up yourself like a corporation, and the family is like a partnership. And so a limited partnership of some type. And so there's different ways that you can do that to raise capital. But family and friends, definitely in the beginning, because usually the banks and financial institutions won't give you the money.
So you can't just go and say, this great idea, and I want to make like this. And you have to have the business plan to be professional with people that you know well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And do you have to prove then that you're going to be better than the competition? Do you have to have some kind of game plan in place for that?
Absolutely. You should have a blueprint. I think Louis earlier mentioned how you have to have a blueprint. And people want to see that. They want to see how are you going to create the revenue to be able to pay them back. And that's the key issue with all investors, even with venture capitalists, even with angel investors. They want to know, how are you going to pay me back? What is your exit strategy? And that's the key issue.
What is an angel investor? Is that like sugar daddy, sugar mama kind of a thing?
I wish it was. Generally, an angel investor is either a retired or a very successful entrepreneur who wants to help entrepreneurs. And they really have like money. Generally what they'll do is they'll raise capital from various institutions, from people, rich people. And what happens is they really want to help entrepreneurs, so they give them money. But the key here is they need to have an exit strategy. They want to know, how am I going to get my money out of it? So you have to be really, really careful when you are searching for capital from angel investors. You don't ever want to give your control of your company away, and that's key. But now, they're out there, though.
Are these people always looking for a big return on their investment?
Absolutely. One guy said to me, we want 40 times our money. So if they give you $1 million, they expect to
That's
get
an
back.
angel investor?
Yes, isn't that something? And venture capitalists, too, the same thing. So, yeah, oftentimes they want. But normal average is about 12 times their money. So if they're happy with that. But they really are looking for 30 to 40 times their money.
Wow, that's big margins.
It is. It's huge. But that's how they make a lot of money.
All right. Well, how do we go about finding such a person, this money angel?
I tell people to start with your network and also talk to an attorney or a good CPA, because they always have wealthy clients who are looking for business opportunities. And especially today, because people are so leery about putting money into real estate and putting money into the stock market. So they're looking for opportunities like businesses. So a good, again, your CPA, your attorney, they are the perfect people to talk to. And just network.
Okay, so you start with them, and you say it's always who you know.
Yes.
What about professional organizations? Are they helpful in finding these people?
Yes, trade organizations, particularly if you have a trade, you should go to talk to them. Like, let's say if you're in the food business, then, find out who is in the food industry trade and talk to them and just find out, okay, who is giving money? Do you know who's supplying money? Who has capital? But go to the trade organization. So those are also great. It is who you know, though. It really is.
Isn't that just the secret of life?
It is, right. Right. Your relationships are key. And when, again, an angel investor said to me, it's your relationships. And so even with your bank, right now, even if we're saying, you may not be able to get money from your bank, so what? The key, though, is having that relationship with your banker. Getting to meet, talk to them, and over time, they might give you money. Who knows?
By the way, just a reminder, we are live, so your emails and questions are welcome for Cheryl Broussard today. So call us or write to us or instant message us right away, and you can ask the expert yourself.
Yes.
So another suggestion you have here is to contact the local Chamber of Commerce, really?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. The Chamber of Commerce, I think, is an underutilized resource for entrepreneurs. There are so many information people there that can really assist you with raising money, also mentoring you for your business. And that's another key thing that I think entrepreneurs don't really do. Sometimes we tend to be the Lone Ranger, and we try to do it on our own. And what I have found is that you really do need partners. You need joint venture partnerships. You need to talk to other entrepreneurs. How are you doing it? How are you raising money? And I think that's how the Chamber of Commerce is full of people who have that information for you.
See, I just want to think of the office with the retired lady, and they're handing out brochures at the Chamber of Commerce, but it can be much more helpful than that.
Oh, absolutely. And a lot of times they have mixers where you can talk with other entrepreneurs. So you never want to, the Chamber is a perfect resource.
Also city and state government.
Yes. A lot of the cities and states have these economic development agencies or departments, and they're looking for entrepreneurs who are going to come in and bring job opportunities. So a lot of times they'll give you tax credits. They'll even give you money. So that's like I said, there's money out there, but you just have to know how to find it.
All right. What are some other creative ideas about how to raise money?
Well, I mentioned earlier the joint ventures and partnerships. Why not team up with another partner or someone who is in a very similar type business as yours? That way you can share the expenses, you can share the profits.
Can you give me an example of how that works?
Yeah, let's say, for example, that I'm a financial advisor and there is a CPA, and we can both join together in business. And we can, because that's a very similar type business, we can kind of feed off each other. He could send me clients as a financial advisor, and then I could send him clients for tax reasons, for tax strategies and so forth.
So you share office space, perhaps?
Absolutely. And we split the profits.
Oh, equally.
Equally.
Oh,
why not?
That's a great idea.
Yes.
Other creative ideas you have?
Again, joint ventures, this time not with maybe a partnership, but joint ventures with other organizations. So you could joint venture with a financial or another institution, for example, another corporation, for example, you can joint venture with. And then let's see, there's just so many, I can hardly even remember them all. From, like you said earlier, raising capital through your family members, doing a limited partnership. Again, that's setting up almost like you're selling stock in your corporations, but to your family and your friends. And that's another good way that people don't utilize.
If we pick up your book, what could we learn about this raising capital idea through your book? Other ideas you might have in there?
Well, I think I would say that there's just so many opportunities, and you never ever want to give up on how to raise capital. And again, a lot of times we think, well, it's just the banks and the financial institutions are the only ones who can provide capital, but that's not the case. You can go to, again, wealthy friends, doctors, your doctor. Go and talk to your doctor. They have money. They want to know, how can they need multiple streams of income. And they're looking for opportunities. So talk to your doctors, talk to your lawyers, talk to all your friends,
accountants,
anyone who has wealthy
hairdresser.
clients. Hairdresser. Yeah, they're looking for opportunities, believe it or not. So I think the key issue here I want people to understand is that money is available. And even during this bad time, it is still there, and even to grow and expand your business.
Are there special avenues that women perhaps can try that may not be available to the general public?
Yes. Now, this is good. The women in minority-owned businesses, there are grants just for them. And so you can go through the you can Google, grants, and I think it's like .gov. I can't remember the exact website, but you can Google for grants for women, and they have plenty of money. You can get seed capital. You can maybe be able to get $2,500 up to maybe $25,000, even up to $100,000. And especially if you have a business that's going to help a city or a state grow their business or to have hire employees, they'll give you a lot of tax credits. I mean, it's amazing what's out there, and I have all that on my website too.
All right, so small business grants, do they have to be repaid then?
No,
it's a grant.
That's the great thing about it.
I love that.
They don't have to be repaid. They're fabulous. You don't have to be repaid. They're not a loan. So that's it. You get that money and you get to keep it.
The trick, though, is the grant writing process can be a little tricky, can't it?
Yes, and it's very stringent, and they want all your, the business plan. You have to write everything down. And it's a long process, too. Anytime you're working with the government, it's a little bit of paperwork that's involved. And so as long as you're patient, you'll do fine. You can find the money, but you just have to have the patience.
That's right. Well, what do we do when, we have this great idea, we're all excited, very passionate about it, we take it to a bank and they go, that'll never work, we're not giving you the money. How do you keep, excited about what you want to do and not be discouraged when you're turned down for funding?
You know what? That is a good question. I had one entrepreneur, a woman, sister CEO, who said to me, she was trying to get a loan she wanted to buy a radio station, and she went to 32 banks.
Oh my gosh.
And all of them turned her down. And she said she would never ever give up. She knew her business plan, like she could recite it in her sleep, right? So she went to bank number 33, and there was a woman banker, and she gave her the loan. It was $1 million to get started. So I think the moral of the story is that you just cannot give up. And if you really believe in your business and you're passionate about it, you're going to find the money.
All right, Cheryl, we have an instant message from one of our viewers. It says, do you have to already have a level of success and be making money before you can look for money to invest in your business?
Absolutely not. And that's the key here, is that you don't have to have you don't have to be so successful. You could still, just need that working capital. So people are willing to give you the money, but your idea has to be good. You have to show that they're the numbers. You have to show that, and even if they're not firm, you do have to show them that there's possibility of making money is there, because they do want to get their money back, whether it's an angel investor or whether it's a venture capitalist or whether you get it from an institution.
What happens if you can't pay it back?
Ooh.
I mean, I don't want to be negative, but what happens is like, gee, Mom, I'm sorry, I borrowed $10,000 and, you know.
It happens, unfortunately, because that's just the nature of business. And if that is the case, what you really try to do is you try to work out a plan, a payment plan, and you say, look, take responsibility for it and say, I really want to pay you back. Business is not good right now. My cash flow isn't good right now. But can we work out a plan that I pay you off over a certain length of time, but take full responsibility and say, I really want to do this. And you know what? You can turn your business around. You really can. Don't give up. I know it's hard to say that. Yeah, it is. Now, of course, if the business is not, making lots of money right away, then, you just have to find out, how can I make more money?